Let me start off by saying this. I had humongously low hopes for this game. I thought it was going to be a bland platformer with no real heart to it that was clunky and just plain boring. Boy, was I completely wrong. Rayman Origins is everything that I love about platforming games. With its infectious gameplay and beautiful environments, it's a platformer game that completely took me by surprise. The story is as bare bones as it gets. Rayman and his friends are sleeping at the snoring tree and snoring as loudly as possible, and some cranky old woman who rules the world of the spiky black things wants them to stop and ends up unleashing her army upon them and capturing them and a bunch of princesses. Or fairies, or whatever they are. The story is weak, but for a game like this, it really doesn't deduct any points. Look at the Super Mario games. It's basically the same story for every game, and they're mostly great. Princess gets captured, Mario has to go save her. The story of this is similar. Princesses get captured, and you have to go save them. At least I think they're princesses. But you also have to fight giant chickens, tentacles, and other various surreal creatures. But I don't blame the old woman that caused all of this. They're beatboxing in their sleep. How annoyed would you be if every night, all night long, you hear your neighbor beatboxing in his sleep? This is where the game shines like the brightest star in the galaxy. The platforming in this game is so smooth and so fluent. Every little jump you make feels like you've just accomplished the most beautiful ballet move on Earth. The platforming is difficult enough for you to feel like you've got quite a challenge ahead of you after going through each door, but it never gets challenging to a point where you just want to quit the game. The real challenge is in the bonus levels. You have to chase a very fast treasure chest around a map at a super high speed. It reminds me a lot of the brownie boss in the game Super Meat Boy. Anyway, the game progresses in difficulty every level and it never dulls down or has any slow moments. The cooperative play is just as good and maybe even better than playing by yourself. You and a friend can either work competitively or cooperatively to complete the levels, but competitive play is really just to see who gets the highest score at the end of the level. Also, the game is really funny, so it's nice to have somebody by your side to share the laughter. The levels are beautiful and unique. Each world varies extremely and provides some of the most interesting visuals I have seen in a platforming game, or really any game at all. In what other game can you go through an icy world full of fruits and talking forks while dodging oranges with spikes on the side? Yeah, I didn't think so either. The levels sometimes do a little 3D thing where you go into another side of the level, but this game is purely 2D and looks like everything was hand-drawn. The soundtrack is just downright awesome, from orchestras of kazoos to one of the cutest songs I've heard in years. That is too cute for me to handle. This soundtrack is just extremely good. Each song is completely different than the last, and the sounds the enemies and environments make is surreal and atmospheric. Where most platformers have you rush to the end on a time limit and whoosh past block after block, the same as the last, this one puts you into the levels and makes you feel as though you are Rayman, hopping through each area. Overall, this game is a gorgeous piece of platforming gold. If you enjoy 2D or 3D platformers, want a game that gives you a nice and steady challenge, and want a game that has a very good length with lots of content to keep you coming back, this game is for you. On a scale of trash, try, rent, buy, or obsess, this game gets a very high buy and maybe even a low obsess. Wii Rev-U, signing off.